Well, hey, buddy, it's Joel Toppin here, and this is going to be episode 3 of our playthrough Vijayanagara by GMT Games. And as before, we're going to make a couple quick corrections here. Up here in the Punjab, let me open the play so I'll show you what we're going to do here. We did an attack and plunder and during last turn, and always forget the third step, the last step of this. It says, then any invaders in the space beyond 3 return to available. So we're going to go ahead and get these. I think there's 2 extras out of here. Return those back to the Mongol invaders. And then whenever you move into a tributary province with your rebellious emirs or rajas, you're going to go ahead and flip them back to their obedient side. And we've gone ahead and we've done that now. So I think we are good to go. Let me just confirm one more thing here. Oh, this is another important thing. We haven't encountered this in our game, but plunder cannot reduce sultanate resources below 3. And I believe, yes, it's printed just below the turn track here, or the numbered resources track. So pay attention to that. That would be an easy thing to miss if you're not careful. Especially in Vassal, if you're zoomed out and you're just using the buttons instead of moving pieces, you might overlook that. I think in the physical game, that might be easier to see. Okay, I think we're ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and draw our next event. And right off the bat, we have a stay eligible event. And Vijay is going to be up first. They get to take up to 2 resources and 2 cavalry from the Bakhmani factions. That's not a bad play, I think. I will go ahead and avail myself of that. So let's go ahead and take, it does say both, two resources and 2 cavalry. So send them back down there. And resources are going to go up 1, 2, and they're going to go down 2. And stay eligible. Okay, and Delhi is up next. They have 13 available troops, and it may be time to do another taxation. It might not be a bad play. We're going to need resources, and it's only going to get worse from here for them, I think. So what I mean by that is that the game progresses, more regions are going to fall out of tributary status, and when you use the taxation decree, sorry, wrong one. When you use the, or collect tribute, decree, you gain resources equal to half of your tributary prosperity. So basically, you take your victory marker, wherever that's at, divide it by 2, and then that's going to be, and I believe you round that down, right? Yeah, round it down. Plus, you get 2 cavalry at it. We need to do that. So I think that that's a good play for them. We'll go ahead and do a command and a decree, and we will go ahead and raise some troops. Of course, in Delhi, probably go ahead and do it here and here because of the Kasbahs. Let me confirm how this works. So what we want to do is a conscript. So you place 1 troop if a tributary, or up to 2 troops in a Kasbah, or up to 5 in Delhi. So I think it might be worthwhile to put 1 here. That would be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many resources am I going to get back? I'm going to get 5. I'm only going up a net of 1. I'm not sure that's worth the money to put 1 in here, but then I lose. Yeah, I think I can afford to lose that. I'm going to be cheap, and I'm not going to spend a resource to put 1 into that region. I'm going to go ahead and instead put the 5 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to go ahead and put 2 into, I realize that whenever you generate from the control or tributary marker, whenever you dispatch pieces into a region, it's going to put them in a certain area and proximity to that circular piece. So just pay attention when you're doing that in Malwa. It's going to put it really close to in the border of Delhi. So there's really nothing I can do about that. I mean, no matter where I put that, it's going to there's going to be some place where it throws it inconvenient. So we're just going to leave that alone. I am making some final tweaks to the vassal module as we're playing this. I'm seeing what needs to happen. I've made a couple small improvements. I don't remember if I did this last time or not, but there is like the icon reference play aid. I've added that in, and the attack reference play aid. I've added those into the vassal module to make it a little bit easier for gameplay. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. I like to make an escape key. I want to key the delete pawns to the escape key. So when you hit escape key, it removes them all. I've been adding the escape key functionality to a number of modules lately, and I'm getting kind of used to it. All right, and then we're going to add, let's see, that was 1, 2, 3 resources. So let's drop down 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to add 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we get some cavalry. So we'll throw those up to the Delhi Sultanate, and that's going to be a good play for them. Just eligibility and draw our next event. All right, Bakhmani. Oops. Doggone it. I almost did it again, didn't I? All right, I'm going to pretend like I didn't see that because I really wasn't paying all that close attention. And I don't think it's going to impact anything. But I always forget the next faction can go. I made this mistake in video 1, and I'm still struggling not to make this mistake. Okay, what do we want to do with these guys? Do I want to collect a resource? Let's see here. We've got 2 available Rajas. Yeah, let's see, 3, 4, 3. So we kind of thwarted them there a little bit. But what we could do, what we can do is I'm debating whether or not to just go ahead and march somebody up into the Rajput kingdoms. March 2 of these guys up. Just for the purpose of, you know what, I can for sure rebel this the next turn. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's going to cost 1 resource. And then we will adjust the eligibility. And then we will draw a card. And Bakhmani's up first. This is the event. This is the event. This is the reason I've been trying to garrison Bengal. Place up to 2 emirs or rajas in both Jaunpur and Bengal, and remove a tributary marker in one of them. Well, I think it's a good play. I'm still going to do it. I forgot that it removes the tributary marker. I still think it's a good play, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. Let's see. I can't remember which command it is. 4. Control 4. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take the event and remove this tributary. That's going to throw the victory points down to 9. Okay, so that'll go ahead and cause we've got to put our pawn down here, showing that that is complete. I think we did everything we're supposed to do there. Up to 2 Rajas in both Jaunpur and Bengal. I can't put 2 in Bengal or in Jaunpur because I only have 2 emirs ready and available. And unlike coin games, it is my understanding that you cannot take guys out of another space or another province in order to place them as though they come from your available resources. So we're going to go ahead and just call that quits there. I think that's going to be it for that particular event. All right, now the score, it doesn't affect the scoring for Bakhmani, but it's setting things up for some strong moves on their part. Because I could rebel and put a fort here and gain control of those. That's 3 victory points, 4 victory points they could seize in 1 turn. But they'll have to wait a little bit to be able to make use of that. Okay, we got lots and lots of Rajas available in the Vijayanagara, available resources, available forces display here. So we're going to go ahead and raise some of these up. And I think Yeah, because I'm gonna have to do some fighting for some territory here at some point. Oh, this guy should have flipped over to obedient too, because he's in a tributary space. Of course, I could rebel there, and that's a handy thing to do too. Lots of decisions. I got the cavalry to fight Delhi with. I mean, might be in our interest. Let's see, we've got 4 resources available. Let's look at our options here. We want to go into the J. You know, I think I might just go ahead and do is let's go ahead and recruit, rally, and collect some income. Let's get our taxation taken care of here. I'm going to rally at least there for sure. Yeah, I can rally there. I can rally here. Don't think I need to rally any other places because that's going to give me. I control my home space here, so I'm going to place 1 Raja plus 1 for my home space. It's 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put 4 of the 5 in there. I could put 4 of the 5 in there. I can put 1 here and 2 of a temple. Let's put the 2 in here. I can't remember what my commands are. Rajas are 6s. Okay. And then I'll have to flip those guys over because it's a rebellious situation. And then I'll put the rest of them here. I'll put 3 of them here. Okay, that should be good. And then we're going to tax, which gives me resources equal to what I control. I don't control this space. I only control these 2. So that's 3 plus my temples, 4, 5, 6. 6 resources. I use 2 of them, so net plus 4 to my resources. I'm just going to do it that way. Oops, wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 4. All righty. It does give Delhi a free hand on the next card, so there is that. We'll see how that shakes out. Oh, here we go. Mongol invasion. Well, yeah, let's get these guys going. 1, 2, 3. And do I want to do an attack up in the Punjab? Or do I want to amass further? I think I want to amass further. And here's my thinking. My thinking is I want to make them afraid of the next card that comes out. That's going to really hurt their resources. I don't think I'm going to hurt them bad enough. Because there's a good chance that they could kill 2 of the 3 cubes here. I mean, a reasonable chance they kill 1 of them. I don't think it's hurting them too much. So I'm going to go ahead and, for the second Mongol action, amass the other 3. All right, so anything beyond 4 moves down into the Punjab. Anything beyond that moves down into Delhi. I'm creating situations that I think Delhi has to respond to in their go, maybe force them to strip some troops from where I'd like them to pull out of. That's kind of my thinking for the Vijayanagara faction. All right, so draw our next event. And for once, there's not back-to-back Mongols. And Delhi has a tough choice now. Plus 3 resources, place up to 4 troops, and a governor in 1 province adjacent to Warangal, and demand obedience there. Dang. I think demand obedience makes it tributary. Let's double check the terminology. Yes, it does. It would have to be controlled by them. Now, to control it, they would need 5, 6, 7, 8. They're going to need 9 because I have 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to have 10 units, 10 pieces. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If they put 4, if they do the event, wow, this is a tough call because they could basically flip this one back to their control, or they could take control of this space here, put 4 troops in here, take control of it away from Bakhmani, and make it tributary. Either way, they're getting 1 point, 1 victory point back. The downside is they're ineligible on the next card, and they could end up losing a ton of resources. If a Mongol card comes up, they're going to get spanked unless they deal with this mess. So, tough. This is a tough call. I do like getting the resources out of this. It's 3 resources. I think it might be worth taking the chance because 1 Mongol card came out early. We have a little bit of time. I'm going to take the risk and get the resources. 1, 2, 3. And I think putting these guys up here creates more of a problem for the Indian factions than contesting this with the Vijay faction. So I'm going to go ahead and put 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's enough to make that controlled by Delhi, and 4 troops and a governor, and demand obedience. So let's go ahead and put a governor in here, 2, and then demand obedience. So right click and choose to make it tributary, and that will increase, and then we're going to decrease Bakhmani down 1. All right, I need to kind of knock down the Vijayanagara faction, but I don't see a way to do that that wouldn't be costly in terms of troops. So I went ahead and did that. I feel like that's probably the best move there. So we'll find out if that was a good idea or not when we draw our next 2 events. Next card comes out, and it would have been a stay eligible event. All right. I set this card aside. If you're watching, I think episode 1, this card was pulled out of the removed events by an event itself. In other words, it's from the pool of cards that was not included in the main deck when we built the deck. This particular event can be played by the Vijayanagara faction in lieu of whatever card is being played here. And it's a card that Vijayanagara would like to play, but they're last in priority here. And it's kind of exclusive when they could actually play this. Or they could use it if an event was out here that they absolutely did not want an opponent play, they could throw this bone to them. I'm not seeing a good use for it here, so I'm going to go back to look at the current event. The Vijay faction could replace 1 governor with an obedient or rebelling Raja or Amir. Well, and that would stay eligible. You know, much as I hate to do it to them, I feel like if Vijay attacks the Bakhmani faction here, I stand to gain more out of that than I think anything else I can think of here. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a limited command to do an attack here because I want to stay eligible. And I'm going to attack the Bakhmani faction here. They have 3 Amirs and I have 5 Rajas. Plus, I have adjacent temples, and I'm pretty sure. Let's see what the temples do. Can send 1 Raja to support when attacking. Yeah, so I have plenty. I got plenty of guys that I could send into the fray because I have adjacent temples. Okay, we're going to go ahead and throw our dice, and 4 dice are going to come at the Bakhmani, and all 4 of those are going to be hits. The Bakhmani faction is going to throw 2 dice out, and only 1 hit. And we will go ahead. We're going to go ahead and screen one of them. And they will go ahead and does it make sense to screen? It doesn't make sense. They got 4 hits, so it doesn't make sense to use theirs to screen anybody that I can see, because all 4 of these attack dice would be hits. Screening a defense die out means that only one of theirs is going to hit me, and that's kind of what I wanted to do here. I'll show you why. All right, so we're going to go ahead and discard that. These guys are dead. We're going to lose 1 resource. Now, the reason I did that is if you look at the attacks, we get to shift some influence. In each location, if attacking Bakhmani, victor gains influence, loser loses influence. So I'm going to cause their influence to drop to 0, which costs them a VP, but it bumps me up and increases my VPs. So I'm closing it with Delhi at the expense of Bakhmani. And I'm also, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got to get rid of one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we don't quite have control. Delhi has control of this. Dangerous, I suppose, because they could demand obedience there now. So there is that. That backfires a little bit on me there. But I could attack them maybe on the next go because I'm going to stay eligible. The point is I'm trying to gain control of this area in addition to all the other things. So that's my play with that. Now, Bakhmani gets to go. They could also stay eligible with a limited command, or they could do the event, replacing a governor with an obedient, let's see, obedient or rebelling Raja. Well, shoot. Yeah, it's not a bad play, I think. Let's go ahead and return him to available. And these guys are obedient now. Forgot to do that. If you're typing in the comments, hang on, we got it. We got it. We're fixing it. Okay, I think that's what we'll do. They don't quite have enough to rebel, but getting closer to something there. And that also allows them to stay eligible. And we'll adjust eligibility. Draw the event, we'll see. And that was a good gamble for Delhi. They are going to get to go. Maybe not be able to do a whole lot, but maybe clean up some of this mess up here, depending on what the other factions do. Alrighty, I would love to gain resources here, but now's the time to I think, to hurt the other factions. So could do. I think what I'm going to do here, trade or tax or gain 3 resources and stay eligible. No, I think it's time to do maybe another attack. This time I'm going to attack Delhi and Andhra. And because I can include the guys from, at least 2 more guys from adjacent temples. And all right, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and attack here for sure. Now the question is, do I want to do another limited attack, stay eligible again, or build a temple someplace for VP? That's an attractive option, and I may just go ahead and do that up here in Orissa. How important is it? It depends on how this attack goes. Kind of, this is a tough decision. I think I am going to go ahead and do the command and the decree. If I do the command and decree, it limits what Delhi's going to be able to do, because Bakhmani's got the, is going to have free reign, and then let's do that. We're just going to do the one attack here, and we'll roll our attack dice, a 6, a 2, a 5, and a 2. All right, well, we're going to charge. That will turn one of the 5s into, or one of the 6 into a 5. And because we're including Rajas from adjoining adjacent provinces because of the temples. So we're scoring 4 hits. That's the long and the short of it. The Delhi rolls 2 dice and they score a 6 and a 1. I can't screen out the 1. I can screen out the 6 if I need to, but I don't think I do. They, on the other hand, have some options, but they've also got a lot up here to deal with. So I think if I'm them, I'd probably go ahead and take my medicine here and screen one of them away. So I score 3 hits on them. They score 1 hit on me, which I'm going to take out of this area. And I'm doing, because they're included in the battle. So then I'm going to take out 3 of theirs. 2, 3, 4, and I have enough now for control. Just going to give them a victory point, and then I'm going to build a temple up here. Don't control this area, but we built a temple up there, and that's going to give us another victory point. So total victory points, let's just make sure we've got it correct. 2, 3, 4 for control, 5, 6, 7, 8 for temples, 9 and 10 for influence, and yep, we've got it correct. We are now tied with Delhi for victory. Tight game so far. Now, Bakhmani gets to go. The event is useful in the sense it gives them a ton of VPs, or excuse me, resources to work with. But time is, starting to get to the point where time is a factor. And I kind of like, let me get rid of the pawns. I kind of maybe like the idea of, maybe I go ahead. I need to get influence back up, doggone it. And it might be worthwhile. If I trade, I'm going to get cavalry. That's handy. I think that probably, I want to get control of the Bengal, but it's 2 points, 2 victory points there, but I also need to get influence going up again. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and do a trade, excuse me. So open up our play aid, just make sure we get this correct. Looking at trade, we are going to gain equal to the number of provinces with a Bakhmani peace, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different provinces have a peace. So that's a lot of resources. That'll get us up to 10. All right, lots of resources, but we also get cavalry out of it. We only get 1 cavalry. If our influence was here, we would have gotten 2, but we're going to get some cavalry. We're going to need that because we're going to have to hit. We're going to have to hit the other lords of the Deccan. Let me put these away. Get rid of those. All right, and he stays eligible. So now Delhi's only got the limited command opportunity, and we're going to go ahead and do an attack. I think we have to do the attack up here. Let's get rid of this. So 4 dice. And all 4 are going to be hits. Defense rolls 2 dice. Those are hits. We can screen 1 out, but I don't really. I might need those cavalry. So I'm going to go ahead and basically wipe them all out at the expense of 2. Sometimes it's just what you got to do. You just got to take your medicine. think that's probably my best play there. Delete the pawns. All right, adjust eligibility and draw our next card. Whoa! Oh, do we ever get that in time? All right. Well, the Vijayanagara faction gets to decide how to do this. Well, we're definitely doing an attack. So let's do the attack up here. I'm using the red pawns because these are the Mongols. Alrighty, so 4 dice coming at you. And one of them is going to definitely be a miss. Because there's only 4 cubes there. So 3 hits. Defense is going to get 1 hit. And no 5. Yeah, even if I could use both these cavalry to bring my 5 down to a 3, but I still only have 2 cubes there. So I hold on to my cavalry. It doesn't help me. All right, so they lose 1, and they hurt me as bad as they can possibly hurt me in that particular spot. So 3 resources, and then they lose 3 troops. And I think we pulled them all out of this particular region. All right, that's number 1. I don't think I want to attack here in Delhi because there's little chance I survive that. I think the second action is better to go ahead and amass anew in the mountain passes, which is to say put another 3 cubes out there. Because I think this is the last this is going to be the last Mongol card of the game. So we're now setting up for the Timurids, and we want to get as many red cubes out to hurt the Delhi faction as possible. So, because if the Timurids don't get into Delhi, if they don't hurt the Delhi faction hard enough, bad enough, then the result of that is that Delhi's going to get 3 more victory points at the end of the game. So I think that's important to get as many red cubes into play. That's my thinking there. Drawing the next event. We're reaching the end of the period, and Delhi's eligible and Bahmani is eligible. Oh, this is a good one for Delhi. I think we got to do this. Let's see. Oh, shoot. I don't have the troops for it. Dang it. Here I got all excited. Okay, found something I need to do in the module. I need to make this undoable. Okay. Well, shoot. That stinks. Attacking mountain passes or Punjab for free. Rearrange up to 6 of its units among the mountain passes, Punjab, and 1 other space. Well, you know, that might not be a bad play. I get an attack. I've got 2 cavalry. You know, I could wipe these guys out, perhaps. And then I could rearrange the attack in mountain passes or we'll do it in the mountain passes. Then rearrange up to 6 of its units among mountain passes, Punjab, and 1 other space. I could then take some of these guys out of here and bring them up to the Punjab. Of course, we're not facing the Timurid invasion just yet. We're going to have a little bit of warning of that. That event does allow me to stay eligible. Well, I'm going to stick with my original plan. It's not as potent as I initially was thinking, but we're going to go ahead and do an attack here. And, not great. We're only going to score 2 hits. Deadgum mercenaries. Defense is only going to score 1 hit, and they really can't do anything. None of our cavalry are really going to help us here because I can't get rid of their 1. If they had been a 2, I could have screamed that away and taken no losses. But instead, they take 2 losses, I take 1. The first Timurid event's going to take like half the cubes out of here and throw it into the mountain passes, if I remember correctly. All right, then I can rearrange up to 6 units. Is that correct? One other space. That one other space, I think, has to be the Gujarat. So take 3 guys out of there. That may prove to be a mistake, but we'll see. And that'll be his go. Bakhmani gets to play. Now they have all kinds of ideas, all kinds of things they could do. But what I really want to do now is could rebel and put a fort in Bengal. Yeah, let's do it. All right, we're going to go ahead and rebel here. Make that Bakhmani, so they lose 1 victory point. We get 1. These guys are all rebellious. Just marking where I'm doing this. And then we're going to do the special activity up here. And, oops, wrong one. It's 5. All right, now put a fort in Bengal, which makes that also Bakhmani. And we're going to get victory for the fort and for control. So that tightened the field up to 8, 9, and 10. We're all within one point of each other. And they are now rebellious because they're in a province that they now control. All right, so that's done. 1 resource spent, and they're in a really good place financially for the end game. All right, I think that's all we got. Go ahead and adjust eligibility. Found one more bug in the module, so this has been a useful evening of doing this. All right, Lords of the Deccan. We're going to end the episode here with this. The Delhi faction may spend up to 3 resources to shift in either direction. Do I want to spend the resources to do that? May spend 3 resources to shift 1 of either Bakhmani or Vijay influence in either direction. Yeah, it's kind of expensive, but might prove useful. Let's do it, and we're going to take down the Vijay faction, because that also takes 2 Rajas out of play. All right, next, Bakhmani may do the same. Well, I know what Bakhmani is going to do. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to increase their influence by 1. Which brings their victory. Now it's a tie game, a 3-way tie. That's how tight this thing's gotten. All right, I can do this up to 3 times. But I don't know if I want to burn through that many resources to do it 3 times. I'm going to burn through 3 more to do it 1 more time. Put me up to here. And throw me into the lead. All right, now the Vijayanagara faction gets to do the same thing. So 1, 2, 3 for them. Let's spend money, money, money. And I think let's move up to here. And I don't want to spend any more. So I'm going to bring myself equal to a tie. So I'm going to double check the score to make sure before we end the episode. Delhi has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 victory points. Yes. Vijayanagara has 2 for influence, 3, 4, 5, 6 for control, 7, 8, 9, and 10 for temples, and they're correct. Bahmani has 2 for influence, 4, 5, 7 for control, 8, 9, and 10 for forts. So they both are tied. Bear in mind that at the end of the game, depending on how well that the Delhi faction defends against the Timurids, they could gain up to 3 points above and beyond whatever their tributary status says. So if the game were to end right now, Delhi would still win. They would win by 2 points. But it shows you the game has definitely tightened up. I'm Joel Toppin. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We got one more. We'll bring one more episode to you, bring this game to a conclusion. Excited to see how this one finally winds up. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Click and subscribe if you like this sort of content. We're going to try to do some more videos like this. Sometimes I have more time to do modules, and sometimes I have more time to do videos, and a lot of times I don't have time to do both. But we're going to try to keep bringing content your way. So if you like it, we appreciate your subscriptions, and we'll see you soon.